Greetings, fellow humans. Very warm welcome to my second video. Thank you for clicking. My name is Ed Liversidge. I'd like to present to you the second part of this radical game-changing process for safety critical certification, involving nothing more than plain text and free software. In part one, I introduced the use of Spacemacs and the use of plain text to store all the artifacts that are used when certifying safety critical software to the DO-178C standard. This part two will introduce the use of the Emacs Org Roam package, which is based on the Zettelkasten system of note-taking. I'll demonstrate how I can apply Org Roam to the DO-178C software development process to implement a powerful, trackable, traceable, and just downright fantastic way of working within the otherwise painful DO-178C process. So first of all, a bit of background. The Zettelkasten system, which is a German word for slip box, slip being a piece of paper or a note. This method of note-taking has a long history with academics and scholars, and it's often referred to as building a second brain. It's credited to the German sociologist Nicholas Luhmann. He indexed over 90,000 cards and credited it for enabling his writing of 700 books and 400 articles. It consists of small items of information stored on paper cards, linked to each other through metadata and tags, and filed away for easy retrieval. This is an example of a paper Zettelkasten system. Now, when I came across this method, and it was only a few weeks ago, the one thing that stood out was the bidirectional linking between information. I saw a connection here with the DO-178C standard for certifying aerospace systems, because this emphasizes bi-directional traceability throughout the software development process, effectively following the V model in terms of traceability. I just finished a DO-178C project, and in that project I used org mode to document and manage the testing for a mission computer. And I could see how I could extend this not only to the software lifecycle, but also to all of the documentation that's created for a certified system in a DO-178 project. So Org Roam is the Zettelkasten system implemented in Emacs. So for me, this presents an extremely powerful system to manage a DO-178C project. In fact, we can apply this to any software development process that demands the rigor of a safety critical approach, so automotive, defense, nuclear, medical, etc. One important point I'd like to make is that the Zettelkasten system, it's not a top-down hierarchy of information. It is more chaotic and disorganized. It allows links and connections to be discovered and for creativity to flourish. So I'm not sure whether I'll actually be using the full Zettelkasten note-taking approach, although I'd like to experiment with it. But at least for now, I'm probably just taking advantage of the deep linking to better organize the data and to prove traceability and coverage for DO-178C. So onto a quick demo. Org Roam is the tool that integrates with org mode in Emacs, or in this case, Spacemacs. And it allows for the deep linking between text within Emacs org files. So to start off, I'll open a top-level setup file. This contains setup code that will initialize the project, and I'm not going to go into too much technical detail here, but basically I just execute it by pressing Control-C, Control-C, then everything will be set up for this particular project. So just change to setup.org. There's the code that I'm going to execute, Control-C, Control-C, and that code is now executed. It's done a few things. It's set the org roam directory, it's turned on database syncing, it has recursively gone through all the org files and tagged them as agenda files, and then we've defined a few capture templates so that if, for instance, I want to create a new verification case, it will go into a particular place and look in a particular way. So now that that's been basically set up, I've already got an existing example, a project for a safety critical bootloader that I'm certifying for DO-178C. And if I want to search through all the links that I've got so far, all the nodes, I can execute this under Spacemacs. It's space A O R, and just before you do it, you can see on the bottom here, it tells me all the different options I've got. So I'm now going to do F for org road node find. There's F, and then I've got a list of nodes to go through. So there's my searchable list. And a node in this case is every DO-178C artifact. So that could be something as high level as the software development plan. It could be a low level requirement, a verification procedure. It's basically everything. Everything I'm interested in, I make into a linkable node. And I expect that there were tens of thousands of these nodes in a running project. Now, that seems like a lot. Luckily, it's all well managed within the SQLite 3 database. That's included with Emacs. It works out the box for recent versions, and it does provide a fast, efficient, and highly customizable backend. And I do love the phrase on their website. It's small, fast, reliable, choose any three. So it's perfect for us. So the upshot of this is that all our bits of DO-178C metadata are going to go into this SQL database, and Emacs will use it to pull out information. We can actually interrogate it as well to pull out information. So it's a great way of stuffing everything into a powerful structure to manage all the data that we've got. The database is automatically regenerated after each save. But we can update the database manually, which we sometimes need to do actually. Sometimes just need to give it a kick to regenerate the database. And to do that, I would do meta-x org roam db sync. So just to let you know, the meta key is usually the alt key on PC keyboards or the option key on the Mac. So just to show you where that is, I can do alt X, and there's my org roam db sync. So I just click that, and that synchronizes the current org files, all our nodes into the database. But as I say, it should happen automatically, and it usually does. So I'm going to select file LLR. We looked at that in the last project. And as I said before, it's the traceability which is important here. And Org Roam has a killer feature to visualize this. So again, space A for application, O for org mode, R for Roam, F to find, and I want to find a file LLR1. There it is. Quickly found. These are all my requirements for this particular file. I can close these drawers as before. Now, just go back to the presentation, and I will open this. This is the killer feature for traceability. This is called the Org Roam UI, and I can open it again with space AOUR. Now to do this, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to shift this to the left, shift Google Chrome on the right. There we go. Space AORU. And there we go, it opens. So this is a live map of all my nodes within my project. It is fairly small at the minute. The project has just started, but as I say, this will get bigger and bigger. You can massively zoom out and see the entire project. This, by the way, is the current PSAC and the SDP just floating off unlinked at the minute. These are my high-level requirements, and this is the file low-level requirements. So the brilliant thing here, I can move through each node in Spacemacs, and then the node will update on the right. So I immediately see the traceability. You see how it zooms in there and zooms out. So that's the traceability for the whole file for start.s. As I move down, we can see that we've got links between the file LLR, the function LLR, and the verification case in this case. And then for these particular ones here, we've got a verification case which is attached to the implementation LLR. Very powerful just to see the state. So I can click a node to bring up the side window like this. Squash some things down, and then see all the linked references which link into this node. And as you can see, there's a nice little mouse over as well, which goes into that node. In this case, you can see that LLR 001.01.04 is verified by this verification case. And I can get the details of that as it pops up here. So as I cycle through the nodes, I can see that a verification case is linked to an implementation LLR. However, there is one instance where it isn't linked, and that's this one here. And that's because we have no verification case currently attached to this. And so it's pretty straightforward to see what gaps you have as you cycle through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a verification case and link them together, and then this entire file will be complete in terms of the verification cases that it has. So to do that, I can create a new verification case, which will be Org Roam capture A space A0RC. Now I know I want to give this the VC, so I will give it the name HSS IMX8 bootloader VC LLR 001.01.11. Now I get a choice here because this capture template that I mentioned previously gives me the option. In this case, I'm creating a VC LLR. Press V, and that creates this new file, puts it in the right place, and pre-fills it with everything that I need. For now, I'm just going to do Control-C, Control-C to save. And that has now saved my VC. The next thing I need to do is to create a link to it. So what I usually do is just use this little bit of text, and then I can insert a link with space A0RI. That's the link I've just created, and there it is. Save that. If we're lucky, it will have updated the database, which will be here. Let's see. Yes, there we go. The new node has appeared linked to LLR 001.01.11. Fantastic. Click that and you can see that's what it's verified by. So that's brilliant. Right, so that's all this done. One thing to mention, I can view the backlinks from within Org Roam. By doing, let's see, there we go, space AORL will open up that link. There we go. And then we can see that this particular verification case has a backlink which goes up to the LLR. And what I tend to do is put this link in explicitly, back up the other way, which I won't do now, but the backlink is there anyway for us to see. There we go. So there's one more killer feature to show you today, the agenda view. So to open up the agenda, I can simply type "AN." There we go. This gives me a list of all the open or to-do items throughout the entire project. If you remember, they were recursively added when I executed the setup code. I can press capital F. This now puts it into follow mode. And this opens up each item as I cycle through the agenda. As you can see, as I go down, everything that's open, everything that needs doing, everything that's waiting for review, that all pops up. Queue to quit. Now, I can already tell you're thinking, so what? I have a bunch of tasks, but this is no good if I can't assign a task to work with somebody. Well, it's easy. I can assign a task with comma IT and then add a name of the person I've assigned the work to. So if I go back to my file, I can assign this entire file, let's say to Bob. So comma, I for insert, T for tag. Let's give it to Bob. There we go. I will save it. Comma A T will give me a list of entries, and you see the tag of Bob is now displayed on the right. I can tag it. I can filter just for Bob. So comma A. Which one is it? Capital M. Yep. Choose Bob, and that's everything that's open and to do for Bob to do. Put follow on again, and I can go through that. Once Bob has finished the task, I can mark it for review. So I can do, it's already been done here. I can mark it for review like this and filter on all these tags and filter on the person. Comma A T shows the to-do entries, and then I can filter everything which is waiting for review by doing 1R. There we go. Follow mode. That's what we're waiting to review. Fantastically powerful system. I think it's great. So, to conclude, this is a software engineering tool that I've adapted for software engineers to use to gain mastery of a DO-178C project. Okay, so yes, there is a steep learning curve with Emacs and Spacemacs. There's org mode, there's org roam, but as a software engineer, this is what we do. This is what we're good at. So I encourage you to throw away the mouse, learn the key bindings, which are easy to change, master the tool, and replace what is the mind-numbing trawl through endless Excel and Word documents with fast and efficient plain text. We're treating all the metadata in our DO-178C project, so that's all the documentation, the design, the evidence, the requirements, the test code. We're treating all this effectively as code. So it's searchable, traceable, trackable, linkable. It's all open source, and it empowers the user, and it saves you time and money. So at my company, all of my engineers strive to master this tool. I hope the same can happen in your company. And if not, then I hope you have a great system that allows for instant searching, deep linking, powerful traceability throughout the entire project. I mean, having this as a free tool as well is quite a bonus. There's still a lot of work to do with this. It is work in progress. I need to look at the PR system so it can integrate Jira, something called Org Jira. I could easily have my own PR system that links directly to the item to be fixed. Again, that makes it all searchable and linkable. I need to have a review checklist. Again, that's easy to do. I'd also like an RSS feed for project updates, and Emacs has many readers for this, so that's another thing on the list. So thank you for making it to the end of the video. I hope you start to get a taste for what is, I think, a very powerful approach. Certainly for me, I cannot wait to get my teeth into the next DO-178C project and to use this system. It's so powerful. And we've not even really scratched the surface of what we can achieve with this level of customization that we have with Emacs. Finally, now that the entire project is in plain text, my AI LLMs can read and write every bit of data on the project. So it basically makes the entire DO-178C project available as a data store to an AI so that it can learn it, understand it, and work on the DO-178C project. So they can write and review documents, they can review requirements, they can perform checklist reviews, they can produce design documents, etc. We really are in a new age here. If you'd like a quick demo, go to the contact page on my website. Also, we've created a new LinkedIn group to discuss AI. So the link is there for that. That's it for now. Thanks again. In the next video, I will showcase some of the AI working, and you can get a feel how the AI talks to all this plain text DO-178C data. Thanks again. Have a great day. Bye-bye.